Hey, fellow target individuals, it cut off. My mom called me during my video. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I got to separate these videos because I do a lot of them. And so I just got to kind of separate them so y'all know what you're watching. But I'm going to, I guess I don't want to, I have to go. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. But I'll just finish it up. I'll just finish it up in a couple minutes because I got to go to the hospital because my grandma, just something happened to her. She's just old. Like, I don't think it had anything to do with gang stalking. But I got to go and stay with her in the hospital while I give my mom a break. The bad thing is, like, I know I'm going to go there and, like, I'd easily agree to do that. Like, there's, I'll go to the hospital to stay with grandma. Like, I'll probably be doing it a lot, if she gets sick. But, I know they're going to torture me while I'm sitting with her, and I just hope it doesn't hurt her. Like, what they're shooting at me doesn't kind of slough off and hurt her because she's, like, trying to recuperate from something kind of bad. Those are the things that I kind of worry about. I don't care about me. Well, I do care about me. Y'all understand that, but we've got to stop this program. Like, they're murdering old women in their houses, like American women, young women, like every stage of human being in America and the world, every culture, who's a target individual. It's just an easy way to create hate towards a person and then kill them and get this justification for torturing and killing them. It's so hard for me to understand, but there are people who are capable of this. They find ways to automate the torture. They find ways to loot things like the V2K. They find, they're finding new ways to just kind of flick on something, and they have a bunch of stuff stored in there for V2K, and they'll loop it. So they're getting this automated torture. So while they go out or whatever, or while they hang out, you'll be tortured. They'll have one person sitting there, but it'll sound like a room full of people because they're filtering the V2K with a bunch of voices. So it's like sick, it's satanic, like factually, like I can't get away from that word. It gets me in a lot of trouble with my stalkers because I do call them satanic. I call them serial killers. That's what they are to me, because they're killing people. They're killing Americans. He's using his military training to murder Americans in their sleep. This is happening, so I don't feel any guilt or any kind of are people going to think I'm crazy? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the long run. It doesn't matter in our future at all. And I know those are consequences of this happening. People not knowing things, confusion, chaos, your friends not believing you, your parents not believing you. All those things are consequences of this, and just how it works. And so what I've tried to do is just accept these things, stop questioning them, accept that this is how this disease works, because it's a disease. And that's the hardest thing, because these people are acting as a disease, so it looks like a disease in us. It looks like a mental disease or a physical disease in us. But since I was 10 years old, I fought Crohn's disease, and it's an autoimmune disorder that's torn people apart, torn them apart, and it took their whole digestive systems. I know how to fight disease, and this is a disease, so it is a perfect engine. It's going to get more people, and it's going to infest, and it's going to grow. So we've got to realize that this thing, don't be scared of it, because it's, I can't say don't be scared of it, but it works as kind of an engine using evil people who don't care, It uses these people and gathers them up, and they group rape and group murder and ritual murder people. So we've got to understand it and accept it and stop questioning, stop being like, how can these people do this? How can they do this? How can anybody do something like this? Because we know they are, and that's the thing is, that's what stops normal people from learning about this, because they're just people can't do that. Because we even, it's done to us, and we're like, how can these people do this? How can these people do this? How can they do this? And other people, they're like, people can't do this, So we got to get past that, realize that there are people capable of this, that whatever delusions, whatever justifications they have in their head, they're sick. They're sick, and they're destroying our country. They're destroying the world. They're putting a lot of people in danger, women, children, women of all ages, men of all ages, children of all ages, and not just in the United States, but around the world. This seems to be the point, to not only put people in danger, but to also murder them, give them cancer, drive them into insane asylums, put them away. There's this one lady, and that's her catchphrase, is "Let's put him away." She's the cynical, satanic woman. Not his wife. His wife's actually pretty cool. Like, she's fought for me this whole time. But it's like me. It's like me fighting. It's like there's so many people, gang raping me, that it's hard to pull them off. It's hard to stop it. And they're never going to stop. These weapons will have to be ripped from them. There'll have to be policies put into place. Somebody bigger than me will have to tell them to stop, because they're not scared of me. They're not scared because I'm not a policeman. I'm not, I don't think they'd be scared of me even if I was ex-military or something. You're going to have some clout to scare these people, because they're like, well, unless you can catch me, I don't care. I'll murder you. I'll murder your family. They have that kind of mentality, like a mob mentality. Like, not a mob of people gathered, but like mobsters, like mafia. They're cold-blooded killers. I'm going to start calling them microwave vampires, so I hope that's all right with y'all. And if I ever do write a book on this, it will be called Microwave Vampires, probably, because that's a great title. Maybe I will call this video Microwave Vampires Part 1 and 2. Because they're microwave vampires. I mean, they leech off people. They shoot them with microwaves all night long while they're sleeping and defenseless. And they get off on it. They get an energy from it. I've never seen some of these psychotic murderers so happy and so productive. In their other walks of life, other things they do. It really makes them content. And to murder somebody and put them down and lie about them, I guess they have a sense of like, oh, well, at least this stuff isn't happening to me, but then they're doing it to somebody. It's really weird. I could never understand it. I could sit here and, like I've talked about, I could sit here for a million years. I'd never get it. This guy'd never understand me. If he wants to kill me, he doesn't understand me. And I think he is complete evil. He thinks he's, doing something he has to do, so I'll never understand him. I want to stay away from being like this, how I am now, because I'm really, like, charred and microwaved, and I have this kind of, like, I really want to get back to really good advice and really good thinking. It's really hard for me now. I forgot my address. Like, I was ordering something online today, and I forgot my physical address because they nailed me in this side of my head so hard. I forgot it. Like, I couldn't think, and I write my physical address on everything. I always tell people, like, you use your physical address so much. I actually forgot it. Like, I remembered my parents, but couldn't remember mine. I had to go look at a piece of paper with my physical address. So they really hurt me really bad. Otherwise, I missed work on Tuesday because of this. Because these people, like, I thought when the cars came in, I thought they would put everything, put all their cards down on the table. Stupid. That was stupid, because obviously they're going to hold stuff back. They're going to introduce, like, a few weapons at a time and see if that high-pitched noise. They've been able to kind of overpower my tabletop defenders again and get that through a little bit. When I'm sleeping, when I'm in one place, not so much remotely. When I'm in the house, they're able to get the high-pitched sound going under my head or around my head when I sleep. But then when I'm moving and I'm out, so I think some of that EHF is ground weapons and not remote. I think they're splitting up things. Like, he's got a house, and they're usually right in the front. They stay in the front, and that's where all the remote stuff is and all the ground stuff is. But but I think he's got more people in there. They're thinking about it, and they're working it out that if they get something on the other end of the house, and I've seen this light's always off in the back because they do have daughters who I think they put in the back so they wouldn't be hurt by the weapons, and the light's always been off while their front lights have been on, all night long. Now every night these back lights are on too, like all the lights in the house are on. So and I overthink things because when I see something that they're doing, usually I guess they think I'm going to overthink it. So I really do think they just put things they put ground weapons in the back, and they turn those lights on because they have to have the lights on to work those weapons. They can't do it in the dark. I think it's too complicated, I'm pretty sure. Especially the remote stations. They might actually have like a remote station in the front and a remote station in the back. And they've learned that like I have to use a lot of tabletop defenders right next to their weapons, so I think they're splitting it up and they're moving stuff around. Now they have enough to do that, whereas before they didn't, because it was just this one guy who was, I guess, supplying the weapons. Now they've got two other individuals. There was a green Jeep that doesn't have a license plate parked in their driveway. It still doesn't have a license plate, and it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's actually the main organizer's new vehicle. I think he bought a new vehicle. It's the type of vehicle he would buy. It's a green Jeep Grand Cherokee, I think. Grand Cherokees it's a Cherokee, Jeep Cherokee, not a Grand Cherokee. I think I'm right about it. It's like the little box Jeep, and it's dark green. It's kind of a color green like his truck, and that's the kind of vehicle he would buy if he bought a new vehicle. So I'm pretty sure that's just his new vehicle. He drove it up without a license plate, and he's going to leave it without a license plate, kind of to do the gaslighting thing. But the two other cars, I'm positive the black car had somebody with equipment, and then a silver car came. And there's a new male voice that kind of sounds a little bit, it's the same timbre, it sounds different than the main organizer. Then there's one male voice that they don't use a lot. He stays silent, and it's a very deep voice. And so they're holding his voice back. They don't want me to know that there are too many people. They want to gaslight that too. But there are definitely new people in the house. Hear their voices. I think the black car guy's voice, they used that, so they couldn't really take it back, so they just kept going with it. But then the silver car guy's voice is really deep. So I've heard him a couple of times, like sporadically, but then I don't hear him. I think they're not letting him talk. Not letting him talk. I think he's decided, or they've decided, that it'd be a good idea if they don't, do too many different, like real different voices. But I mean, that's kind of what we deal with, on a daily basis. Like really weird, bizarre stuff that sounds so sci-fi that nobody would believe it. The pain is very real. Like I want to reiterate that I've had Crohn's disease since I was 10 years old. Like I've had an autoimmune disorder since I was 10. So since the time I was 10 till now, I'm 34. I've learned what my body does. Like I've learned what pain feels like when it's coming from an inside source, and I've learned what it does when it's coming from an external source. Like I know these things. Like I'm not like this autoimmune disorder hasn't driven me crazy. It's taught me about where pain comes from, how to control that pain, if it's external or internal. I'm not crazy. I've never gone crazy. I've dealt with depression and anxiety because of Crohn's disease, because of the autoimmune disorder. But that's the very tragic thing, is that I've been through things in my life that I really want peace in my life. I've been through hard things, and it's like these people have used that. I was sick with Crohn's when they really targeted me. I was isolated and kind of just licking my wounds, and that's when they came in and decided to just harass me. They thought that nobody would believe me or whatever. And then it's continued for years. It's been 6 or 7 years in all. Around 2008, I'm figuring 2008 or 2009, which really matches up. You need to ask yourself when you think you were targeted, when you think this started, because these patents were published in 2007 for a lot of these ground weapons, and that's like a year later would be when they would have been able to get it kind of up and going. So you need to ask yourself, was it around 2008, 2009? Where are you in that? There are a lot of people who targeted all right, guys, I gotta go to the hospital and sit with my grandma. I get worried about that because when I was sitting with my grandpa who was dying, they were hitting me with EHF and ELF, and I don't think B2K had come in the picture yet. But he died. I mean, like, I was sitting with him, he died, very, very soon after we were all sitting with him, and I do still question the stuff that was happening to me, if it affected him, because his behavior would become erratic, when I was there, and since he was sick, he was probably more sensitive to stuff like that. So I do get worried about that. I'm still going to go because I feel like the microwave stuff is so accurate that, there's a good chance that it doesn't hurt other people so badly. It might give them cancer in the long run, but it won't hurt them immediately. This stuff sucks. It sucks so bad. Like, the job that I have is so great, and like, I should be so happy. I do good work. Like, I work with people who I'm helping, and I could do more for my family, and I could do more for my friends. There are friends that I haven't talked to in like 2 years that I could, I could have had that relationship, could have had fun the whole time, could have a girlfriend right now. Like, I mean, this is horrible. It's horrifying as hell. But I mean, I'm going to keep fighting, and I know y'all will keep fighting. I talk to a guy who sends me Bible verses that really help me out, and we are in the right. These people aren't morally superior. They'll try and act like they know stuff and that, they're doing their duty or something. They're not. This program is raping old women in their homes and, microwaving, old women, young women in their homes. They're not morally superior. They don't know what they're doing. They're just taking advantage of a time in America and the world that's confusing, and that people are kind of asleep and they don't know the dangers of technology. They're using this time to kill as many people as they can and to torture and enjoy it, and get a little bit of money out of it. They're bad people. Like, they're bad people to me. Like, I guess that's my opinion. I mean, I think it's fact that bad people murder, bad people rape, bad people microwave people in their sleep, bad people try and, trick people or make them feel crazy, bad people harass people. That's my factual view of the world. That's my objective view of the world. These people would say that's just my opinion, because they're doing all this evil stuff, and they wouldn't call it evil. They'd be like poisoning somebody on their property and, microwaving them while they sleep. They have to do this. Some kind of pagan belief, some kind of pagan philosophy that they don't really shudder away from. I don't know. I don't know how to recognize it. I have no context to recognize it. I was brought up in America. I've had mentors. I've had people that I've looked up to, parents, teachers. I've gone through this system of America, and I've come out not wanting to murder people. If somebody showed me these weapons, I'd be like, no, I will not kill somebody in their sleep. I don't know where these people, I don't know where their past led them to where they are so cruel and wicked and would do this and then be able to lie to a police officer or lie to a father of a son who they're murdering. I don't know. I don't know, because I've been in America my whole life, and I've been raised by parents, raised by teachers, mentors, people I've worked with, lots of small businesses I've worked for, major companies, managers who I've looked up to, and they've all been good people. I guess I've thought, they haven't shown me any of this kind of stuff, and they've made me who I am, and who I am, I wouldn't kill or rape anybody. I think that's horrible. I want peace in my life. I want to live my own life and do my own thing. and help people if I can, but if we're not going to get along, I want to be away from them. It seems to be an opposite philosophy of these people. I don't know who taught them this. I don't know where they went to get this. I mean, I have theories about it. I think there are a lot of covet means. There's a lot of secret organizations. There's kind of a lot of fraternal organizations that are secret. And I think in secret places, this kind of stuff breeds. Because they're like, the people who are the leaders of those secret organizations, they're like, well, this is secret. It's not going to get out to the public, so this is the time, if we're going to do bad stuff and plan stuff, this is the place to do it. I mean, that's just an obvious one-to-one thing. It's not a complicated conspiracy theory. It's just if there's a secret organization or a secret kind of cultish or occult thing, that's where they're going to figure out how to do stuff that people wouldn't agree with. And that's just a fact. I mean, that's where they would do it. And I guess those are the places I haven't been in my life. You know, I've been out in the open, corporations that are out in the open, small businesses that are out in the open, schools that are out in the open, teachers, parents. These people that I've been with my whole life, they're out in the open. They're out in the community. They don't belong to any kind of secret organizations or places where people think they know better than the rest of humans. Like they've been a part of humans, of the United States. They've been part of the world. Not people who think they can judge the world or whatever. And I guess there are places like that. These men could have been passed through those places and learned this kind of philosophy, or learned that human life doesn't matter as long as they don't get caught. I don't know, where did serial killers learn where to serial kill? I mean, a lot of them have had great parents. I think Ted Bundy's parents were normal. So, you know, where does this come from? You could talk all day about it, sociologically, psychologically. You could talk all day. But I'm at 22 minutes. I really got to go to the hospital and sit with my grandma. I love you guys. God bless. I just wanted to do a little, because I do a Friday video all the time. Maybe when I get home, I might do another one. I'm probably gonna wait till I can read an article. There was a good article, but then they started controlling my mouse, like, you know, the thing on your computer that you move around. Like, they started actually, because they've hacked into my computer, and I knew that, they actually started controlling the little arrow that you click on stuff with. So I got on that article, and right when I got on that article, that's when they did it, and I couldn't read the article for the video. And it's a really good article where they actually mentioned that like a doctor who worked in directed energy, mind manipulation, he actually thanked the mass media for not letting the public know how far along the technology had come. And you know, I mean, that's, you know, if the mass media would tell everybody every step of the way how far this technology's come, then people would believe us. There'd be a context for this. But there's no context for it because there's no information to the public. The patents are there, though. It's really windy outside. I like that because I smell a little bit of the toxin, but then it blows away. So they're wasting a lot of their toxin right now. It smells like, kind of smells like burning hamburgers, but it has like just a weird smoky smell to it. Nobody's barbecuing, nobody's cooking on our street at all. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. It's conference call. It kind of uplifted me, but then I had a horrible night. These guys really held back. They didn't put down their full hand. You know, which I guess I thought they would just do that. They'd come in and just boom over. They've gotten a little bit more finesse, because I think they understand I'm not completely retarded. So, you know, he spends, like, it's been 3 years, he spends every second on it. So, I mean, it's not that hard. If you're spending every second on murder and trying to trick somebody, I would do better than him. I mean, I'd never do it because I'm not immoral, but, like, I mean, if you spend this much time on something and it's like your life, I don't see how he has failed in the ways that he has failed. There's more of the toxin. I'm going to kind of go in because it's pretty thick. And that it really does affect, you know, how the body receives that electromagnetic energy. I don't, like, other people say it's nanotechnology, and I really don't know about that. I want to keep grounded in like little tiny individual bugs that can work on their own, and they're computerized. Doesn't make sense to me, because they would be like wasting all this technology, just throwing it out there. Now, a chemical that could rotate at the same degree or frequency of this directed energy crap, that I can imagine. So, I stick with that in my mind. But people talk about Morgellons. They talk about, nanotechnology. I could be wrong. Comment below. Tell me what you've learned. Any good articles on nanotechnology. This stuff is sci-fi to begin with. But I don't know. I want to stay in the facts. Like this toxin is blowing on me, and then it does kind of elevate, how my body responds to directed energy. I know that for a fact. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in the toxin. I know what it smells like. So that's what I try and stick with. Because if I start, going into theories about, what's going on and what this stuff is, I'm sure I'm going to miss the mark a lot of times because I have no information on that. But keep studying, keep doing your own research. Don't listen to me if you don't believe me. Do your own research. Make your own videos if you think that I'm doing poorly with this. And I'm not like I'm not being mad about. I'm not like, oh, if you don't like my videos, you can shove it. I'm saying if you think you can do a better job, like honestly, like if you think that you have more information and you want to make videos, or even contact me and be like, hey, I want you to make a video about this, because I've got this information or this article that's really good. That's worked out great before. Like my best videos is my best video probably that had the most success was somebody else who it was his article and I just read it. So I mean, what does that say? All right, guys. I will talk to you later. I love you guys. God bless you. I'm not gonna end it with a prayer because I really got to run. I will say a small prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God, just protect us today. Protect us over Easter. Help us to see that you were resurrected, from being crucified. See this story and the way that we can be resurrected in you, even with the most pain and death around us that I've ever known of. Please just help us out. Help us to get the information out to people who can help. Help the information just come out to where they can't keep this program running. You know our hearts. You know everyone's hearts who's in this situation. And, please help us. Give us strength. Send down your helper. Help us think of ways to defend ourselves while we wait on you, while we wait on better techniques to defend ourselves, and better techniques to get evidence, better techniques to fight back. Because fighting back, we'll be a part of it, and we'll go with whatever you want. All right, God, thank you so much for everything you've given me. I appreciate my parents, people at work. I appreciate all the target individuals who I've talked to or not talked to, watch videos. I appreciate the ones who I've never seen before, and pray for them, and pray for their struggle, and that they can figure out things and get things to help them, and get away from this if they need to do that, if they think they can. Just I believe in your power. I have faith in you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Alright, guys, so let's keep going in faith. I have about 4 videos to put out. They are rants, and I think I'm going to then go ahead and put about 2 or 3 videos out where I'm actually just reading articles that are very good information. I'm going to start working on some other projects that I think could get more public eyes on them. I love you guys. Stay strong. Don't give up. Don't give in to hate. Don't talk to these guys. And I say that because I talk to mine a lot. An evil person doesn't need to hear that they're a Satan worshiper and they're evil. They're just going to respond with murder, because that's how they communicate. So know that if you do talk to them and you're yelling at them, what kind of response you're going to get. You're going to get a violent response, because they respond with violence. They communicate with violence. So just remember that. I mean, it feels good sometimes to get it out of your system, but know what kind of response you're going to get. You're not going to get a, oh, he's right, I am evil. You're not going to get that. You're never going to get that. Alright, guys. I will see you on the next one. Live long and prosper. And have a good Easter. I'll probably be doing some more videos during Easter. So I will see y'all soon. Alright, bye, guys.